Hello everybody. Looks like my camera's a little bit crooked. I just heard this morning that Dr. Chuck Missler has passed away at 83. I want to tell a little story about this. Not his passing away, but the effect that man had on my life. All those decades ago, when I was a very young Christian, I was struggling with how could God wipe out an entire world, men, women, and children and animals, this whole creation. How could he kill it? Why would he do that? Why would he send the tribes of Israel to wipe out certain tribes down to the last man, woman, and child, and not to even touch their grain stores, their food stores? And this was really troubling me. I knew God, being God, could judge sin in any time, way, and manner he so choose. But to a new Christian or non-believers, these are issues that sometimes people say, okay, that's a line breaker. I cannot worship a God that kills everybody. I can't do that. And that was back when I was reading the NIV. I would study, I get frustrated, I go party like a madman. Okay, I say, this is wrong, I can't keep doing this. Go back, study again. And then one day, I heard about this man teaching about the fallen angels and what they did. And so I ordered his DVD, and that was Return of the Nephilim by Chuck Missler. I now since have, I don't have the whole collection, but I have a lot of these DVDs by Chuck Missler. And also I'd like to say I did not agree with Chuck Missler on everything he taught, just carte blanche. I would get in there, I'd get in the Bible, I'd get in the Word, I'd study. I don't believe that Luke was a Gentile, for example. Chuck Missler said he might have been. I don't agree with that. But what he did for me in opening my eyes on this issue was it was monumental. It gave me a whole new focus. Because back then, being a Roman Greco-Western civilized dude, I had no understanding of Hebraic ideas, understanding, customs, nothing at all. So trying to read the Bible was very frustrating. And that's the same problem many of you have today. You don't understand the culture through Jesus came through, the Hebraic culture. The reason why there's certain idioms, phraseology in the scriptures that make absolutely no sense to someone from the Western world unless you understand it from the Eastern world, from the Hebraic understanding. Now that term, sons of God, in Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 and 2, is just huge. I had no idea who they were until this video showed me who they were. They were the angels. I mean, it was a lesson to me to, number one, to read in context, to get the grammar of what the thing is, the grammar, the context of the verses, to understand what they're talking about. Sons of God is a biblical term. Yes, there's many different tenses that it's used by, but back in the Genesis days, there was only one meaning sons of God has, and that was the fallen angels. The angels that came and took human women as wives. And the verbiage, how it's used in Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 and 2, indicates two separate groups, human, non-human. Sons of God, Job 1:6, Job 2:1, and Job 38:7, all show that the sons of God were angels. So instantly, that opened up a whole new understanding of hundreds of scriptures. God's seed war started on that day, and he wiped it out with the flood. Now, of course, through some other mechanism, I don't know how, I won't pretend to know, it's happened again. That's why the tribes of Israel had to go into certain areas and deal with the giants. And Catholicism, proto-Catholicism, was the one that turned the teaching away from that. Get out. Dog getting up. Made me lose my train of thought. Anyway, this is what opened my eyes. This is what started a whole new study for me. And I spent years devouring this. I'd go back to the original sources. What did Josephus say about this? What did this person say about this? What did this church father say about this? And it was a whole fascinating study. I'd watch debates. And I dug down to the truth. Anyone who denies what happened in Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 and 2 denies the scriptures. It's telling about the seed war that happened. And I thank Chuck Missler, who just passed away, for this. Because I'd still be running around in my own ignorance, in my own human understanding, trying to get these passages. But now I know. We are watching a seed war. And Jesus said in Matthew chapter 24, verse 37, that this was going to happen again. He's going to come back and it's going to be just like it was the days of Noah. Great sin with other greater things going on. The cat just showed up. This cat, I don't know why, she acts like a dog. The first time she saw me, she was like, oh, that's my human right there, and she just hasn't left me alone since. Oh, anyway, I just wanted to let you go. Chuck Missler passed away, and my debt of gratitude to that man for opening my eyes to the truth of the Bible and what it really means. I can't even put into words. Someone planted the gospel in me. I heard it, I believed it, I knew it was the truth. And then he was the person that years later came along and watered that planted seed to where my understanding increased 1,000-fold. As to the point where I am now, I know that within mere years, if that, I'm going to meet him in heaven, because the resurrection rapture will in fact take place. And he has his teachings on the resurrection rapture being pre-trib, as we all know. So I just wanted to say, thank you, Mr. Chuck Missler, even though I know you can't hear me now. I want to let the world know that it was his understanding. He wrote those scriptures. He taught me this. I do not come to the Bible with my own preconceived notions. I do not read it and put my ideas into it. I read it and have its ideas put into me. Even if they sound foreign to me, even if they sound odd to me, if something stands out, that's a remez, dig right there, you're going to get truth. Something doesn't seem right, something happens in your mind, you go, oh, what's that all about? Look at it, investigate it, because you'll find things like this. He's the one that brought that to me. I read the Bible now, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, book by book, to get the overall understanding of the whole context of the scriptures. And it's to him that I have that debt of gratitude. And I look forward to the day I can see him again. All right, guys. Bye.